Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
To use, Phil, or not to use? That is the question.
You make it sound like Hamlet might have addressed this, and maybe he would have if it was modern day.
If Hamlet had used by dates on the foodstuffs of his day, I'm sure he would have referred to them.
You think it would have been part of Hamlet, a secret vision, another one of his plays that was hidden in history?
Get thee to a nunnery and take the use by date food with you. I'm not eating it.
So if you're wondering, Potters, what we're talking about, you'll have to listen to today's show. But that was the focus of discussion, was about use by dates. And in the background, it did occur to me, because it was yesterday actually that we came into the Vision, and you can get the full story here. We came in and Andy's been making a rooibos tea in the morning. Beautiful.
With organic milk and honey.
Beautiful.
Every ingredient is just as important as the other one, Phil.
Okay.
Of course, the hot water goes in there as well, but more importantly, the milk and the honey with the rooibos, it sets it off somehow. I don't know. I can't explain it. It just sets it off.
Well, I'm happy. I've been enjoying it, so thank you for that. But
no caffeine in it?
No.
Good for your health?
Could do with the caffeine.
I should sell Andy's rooibos.
Could you make some with caffeine for that? Could you put some caffeine?
You want some caffeine, do you?
I wouldn't mind some.
You want a dose, do you?
Is there a version that has some caffeine?
Like a V version of rooibos, yeah.
But as a result, we were in the kitchen and we discovered something nondescript in a plastic bag that we didn't know what it was.
It wasn't pretty.
It was disgusting.
Didn't smell good.
Andy lifts it up and goes, "Oh, Phil, do you know what this is?" "No, I don't. I don't want to." "Oh, no, Tatch, have a look." "No, I don't want to have a look." At 5:30 in the morning, I don't want to smell it. I don't want to do anything with it.
Looked like someone's dog droppings, didn't it? In a plastic bag.
It's really gross. And then we're feeling the bag and it's all slippery. Anyway, you probably don't want to know that, but it did get us talking about when things should be thrown away. Like there comes a point where stuff should go in the bin.
If in doubt, throw it out.
Yeah, that's right. I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I haven't said it all show.
No, you haven't, have
I said
you?
Just for the podcast.
Yeah.
Just for the podcast listeners.
The
Phil.
real side of Andy comes out for the podcast listeners. Yeah, but anyway, today we talked about that. Also a great conversation with MAF, Chris Barnes and Stephen from MAF.
The Mission Aviation Fellowship
Oh,
boys.
yeah, not the TV show.
Yeah, that's right.
Mission Aviation Fellowship. Always such a pleasure to have a chat with them, and I love what they're doing to send and to be sending aeroplanes into places where you can't get to any other way. So they do great work. So listen out for that. Enjoy the show and enjoy the podcast.
Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily podcast. Please subscribe to the show, rate it on your favourite podcast platform, and share the link on your socials. It all helps get the word out.
Good morning. It's a terrific Tuesday here on Rise and Shine. It's the 2nd of September, if you can believe that. That's incredible. It's Fel and Andy waking up this morning.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Glad you've joined us today. And yes, Fel, it's the 2nd of September. I mean, the month's almost over, isn't it?
Well,
we're going to blink,
really?
and it's going to be the 30th. That's what's going to happen.
I mean, it does fly, but let's give ourselves, there's a few more days in between. 1, 2, skipper through a few, and then you get to 30. Is that how it goes, Andy?
Look, I may be exaggerating, but it just feels like this year's gone so quick.
It has, actually. It has gone really fast. And in this month is busy because it's the last week of grade 12 coming up officially, and then Bella's formal. And then Bella and Josh are trapped. So there's a lot in our family going on that I'm trying to get my head around. So it will actually go very fast, I think.
Has she got a formal date?
No.
Okay.
No, they're just a bunch of girls all going together.
Oh, they're all going to fly solo together.
Yeah. When you said, has she got a formal date? I said, no, I thought, yeah, there's a date for the formal.
No, I meant a dude.
You meant a dude,
that's kind of a big deal, isn't it, when a dude turns up, wants to take your daughter out to a formal.
Well, no, we haven't had that experience, so we're all good there.
Okay.
A bunch of the girls that have been best friends actually since primary school, they're all going together, so it'll be really nice.
Yeah.
Takes the pressure off.
It does take the pressure off. It's better to go with no one than with someone you don't want to be there with.
Yeah, I reckon.
But my daughter Bella, when she was in grade 12, I think she went to about 5 formals, actually.
Yes.
She was very popular with some of the all-boys schools. I mean, they weren't in relationships. She was just like the date, you know.
The friend,
She was loving it because she needed a new dress, a new set of shoes,
sure.
and a new hairdo every time. I don't know how I afforded that year, actually, Phil. It was quite traumatic, actually, all the money I spent.
Not because she was looking all grown up, but because of the trauma of having to come up with new gouns all the time.
Well, as a bloke, you're like, I'd wear the same suit every time.
For sure.
6 different schools, who cares? Oh, no, Dad, I can't do that. Why?
Couldn't possibly.
Anyway.
Oh, well, look, one of the things we're talking about today, which has no bearing on formals, but I guess it could, is use by dates. And the dresses don't have a use by date. You can probably wear them over and over again.
Well, fashion would probably dictate the use by date there. Things become a little bit out of date, don't they? In the sense of fashion, but not in the sense of it's going to, be off, hurt you.
That's exactly right. Oh, we had got talking because we've been doing a few things in the Vision kitchen. Andy and I found something yesterday when we came into work that just looked gross. It was undescribable in the Vision, one of the inside the kitchen down in the studios here, and it was disgusting.
Yeah.
So it's got us thinking about use by dates. At what point should things be chucked? That thing did get chucked, I'm going to say. We don't even know who the owner is, but it's
We
now
don't
in
even
the
know
bin.
what it was. We just threw it in the bin.
We couldn't decipher what exactly it was, but it's gone. Sorry to whoever's that lunch that was. It looked terrible. But we have put it out there on Facebook. Do you follow use by dates? You can jump over them. There's a lot of comments already starting there on Rise and Shine Vision. Also some friends popping by a bit later by Andy.
Oh, some Mission Aviation Fellowship friends, the CEO and also one of his training pilots who's a former police officer. Really interesting story. They're joining us, Phil. That's going to be a good conversation.
Rise and Shine on Vision Christian Radio.
I almost said your name twice there, Andy, but
Well,
there you go.
you can say it 3 times if you want, Phil.
You don't mind? There you go. But look, yesterday we did have Brad Patterson, the shearing pastor from WA. He always brings these wonderful tips.
Oh, he's more than that. He's the most Aussie pastor I've ever met. I can't get enough of the bloke. He's so authentic, unashamedly Australian. And what's more Australian than being a shearer? And he shears sheep, Phil, on his day off. So he's actually still got his hand on the tools one day a week. And then on his holidays, he'll go and shear for a week or two sometimes, just to earn extra money for his family.
And it's exciting because the reason that we know of Brad is that he's a Vision family member. So he has the Vision. We asked him how he listened to have earbuds in his ears, and he's listening along as he shears, not to Click Goes the Shears, but to Vision while he's out there doing his work, which is pretty special as well.
A Vision shearer.
A Vision shearer. I hadn't thinking that one day I wouldn't mind going and trying shearing a sheep because we chat to so many of our family who are in the country.
Look, we need to go there, Phil. We need to go to WA and experience shearing with the shearing pastor. We will be applying some pressure to management about this, won't we, Phil? Strong encouragement anyway for next year, 2026.
The year of the sheep.
The year of the Perth trip with the outdoor broadcast, and also
wow, Andy, you
help Pastor Brad shear some sheep. Maybe even muster some sheep, Phil. You can bring them into the sheep yards. You can shear one. We can look at the.
How hard is mustering?
Oh, it's not that hard. It's common sense.
That would be fun. Oh, well then. Well, good.
Put you on a quad bike or a horse or something, or a trail bike, whatever you want.
Okay, I'd love to be on a quad bike. But we did get to chat to Brad yesterday. He bought a wonderful devotion, and it all kicked off with asking him what stage of the sheep cycle we're at the moment.
Yeah, well, we're actually entering into the shearing season over here in Western Australia. Spring is where it really cranks up and gets very exciting. But actually recently, also my own sheep, I had to drench my sheep. Unfortunately, that was because I lost a couple of sheep due to gut-related issues. Yeah.
Oh no! What does a drenching mean? Like, is that you putting them under the shower, or what does it mean to drench a sheep?
Well, no, essentially it is because, like I said, I lost a couple, unfortunately, because not what was going on the outside, but it was what was going on the inside in their gut, and they had some bugs, some worms, some things that were actually destroying them without me seeing it. And so the drench is designed as a medicine to go orally, to clean out the gut, to clean out any bugs and anything that's in there wreaking havoc on them, and then to cleanse them. And basically, when you drench them, you set the sheep up to go into new pasture, a new paddock, a new place. And so it got me thinking, Andy and fella, got me thinking about how sometimes we need a good spiritual drench from time to time. As the shearing pastor, I have my own flock of people here at church, and sometimes it's not what's going on the outside, but it's actually what's going on the inside that is killing us, and you can't see it. And Ephesians 5:26 says that we are washed by the water of the word. And sometimes the things we've been digesting in life, the social media feeds, the negativity, the world, just the things that are coming in are actually destroying us from the inside. And so I think from time we need a good fresh drench of God's word, drenched in God's word, to speak it, believe it, to read it, to meditate on it. A good drench of worship, to lift up his name, to praise him, to give him the glory, to get the joy of the Lord. A good drench of fellowship, to get around other sheep that have been drenched as well, maybe. That would really help, because then you're getting that influence in your life. So let me ask you, listeners, what have you been digesting? What's going on the inside? Because that's more important than what's going on the outside. And here's the best part. Here's the best part that I absolutely love about drenching the sheep is there is a new pasture. There is new paddocks. There are new assignments. There are new visions from God. There are new places to go. And Psalm 23 says that he makes us lie down in green pastures. He leads us beside still waters. He restores our soul. And sometimes to get to that new pasture, that new thing that God's got for you, you need a fresh drench of God's word, of God's worship and God's fellowship. So let me ask you today, listeners, what are you digesting? Is it actually cleaning out the spiritual bugs that would come in to destroy you? And are you ready and seeing the new paddocks and new pastures that God's got for you? Because who knows, maybe the next assignment is around the corner of a fresh spiritual drench of God's word. So,
Isn't that good?
Very good.
The idea of drenching yourself in the word of God and in prayer and then God bringing a new season, it's so exciting.
It is in the West, Phil. We think we're very smart as a civilization, but when you meditate on the fact that God says we're sheep are pretty dumb animals, and it's quite humbling. But it's the sort of humility we need, because then you realise I don't know anything. I actually need God to teach me, to show me. I need His word. I need to pray every day. Otherwise, I can't function. So, I can't get enough of Brad's teaching on the fact that you and I are sheep.
Yeah, well, it is. It is wonderful, and there's so much of it. But look, there was even more of that devotion from yesterday. You can check it out over on Facebook on the Vision Christian Media page. Actually, the radio page, so Vision Christian Radio Facebook page, or over on Rise and Shine. Also in the podcast. You'll find it there. There's so many places that you could catch up.
And all of them are well worth a listen,
They
Phil.
really are. Look, coming up next, something that we need your help with. It's got to do with use-by dates. We're looking for some rules or lack of rules. If you want to get involved, listen up. We'll be covering it next on Rise and Shine.
Brought to you by the generosity of Vision family members across Australia and around the world. The Rise and Shine podcast.
We're talking about used-by dates.
We are.
And whether or not new today, you don't mind eating or drinking it, like it comes straight from the shops, not a problem.
Yep.
But at what point do you say enough is enough? When when the milk says used by on it, do you chuck it on the day? I've got friends for sure that grosses them out even on the day. The day before they're getting rid of stuff. They're like, that is enough. But then others, we're hearing over on Facebook that they're saying, no, your nose is the way to go. Penny says, I'm a used by date renegade. In my house, they're only a suggestion and mostly totally ignored. So I'm curious to know what you do if you're like Penny.
Let's restate that. Was it mostly?
Mostly, totally ignored. She's like, a used by date. Ha! I don't think so. But it's a curious one, is whether or not the use by date is just there for a nice, pretty stamp on a box, or whether it actually means something.
Well, it's a good question, Phil, because this is my policy.
Oh, you've got a policy?
I've got a policy on this too.
You do?
Well, in the wild, even in your backyard, dogs will sniff things before they eat it. And they know if it's good or bad food or not.
Yep.
And they survive, Phil. They give it the sniff test. And I think God gave us a nose, and I'm a big believer in using the nose as well. So I don't care what that number says either. I'm going to give it a sniff. Okay. And if it smells good, that means it is good, and I'm going to eat it, or I'm going to drink it, whatever it is.
So your unofficial rule is if the nose says yes, good to go.
Trust your instincts, Phil.
Trust your instincts. Back yourself.
You got to back yourself.
Back yourself. Have you ever run into trouble from that?
No.
You've never have?
Never.
Okay.
Never poisoned myself. Okay, let's go back to the beginning, Phil. The Garden of Eden. Adam's there.
Yes.
Let's forget the visuals. He's there in the garden.
Yes.
He's eating. He's enjoying. There's food. There's fruit. There's vegetables.
Sure.
There's fresh meat. It's all going on. There's chickens. There's lambs. There's goat. There's cattle.
So this is before the fall. Are you thinking he's eating chickens?
I'm thinking before the fall.
I don't know if he was eating chickens.
Yes, he was.
Do you reckon?
I would have. Yeah, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure.
It's good meat.
I kind of assumed he was vegetarian before.
Oh, come on, Phil. Come on.
Honestly,
He's a man. He's eating meat,
You
Phil.
reckon?
But anyway, that's a debate we can't really solve. But
No, we can't.
The point is this. There were no use-by dates on his food.
Okay. No, well, there weren't.
What was
there
he doing?
also wasn't the fall yet at
He
that
was
point.
doing the
so
sniff
things weren't
test.
going.
He was
You
doing the
reckon-
sniff test.
So you reckon that he was getting the milk and I think he was just eating it fresh.
He was doing
but
it
we're not
fresh.
farmers anymore.
But the fruit, he might have been picking fruit and leaving a little pile in a little basket or something. So, well, those apples will be good tomorrow. And then over time, it doesn't smell too good.
Why
into
would
the
he need to
compost.
do that? I reckon he just plucked them off the tree as he needed it.
Oh,
I don't think he needed to store food.
He could have been one of those storers too.
I
You
don't
just don't
think
know.
so.
Store in a hoarder. See, we're only
I don't
speculating.
know. Well,
But the point is this, Phil.
If you
There's
can
no
find
record
Adam.
in the scriptures of a use-by date on his food. Can we agree on that, Phil? Can we agree on
I
that?
don't think they had a stamping machine. But look, the question is really out for you today, and we put it over on Facebook. Use by dates. What are your unofficial rules? And we need it for a few different, like, is it milk? Maybe you have a different rule to chocolate. Maybe you have a different rule to pantry items. Whatever it is.
Water?
Water even. Someone has said, why is that a thing? But we do want to hear from you this morning. In fact, we'd love you to give us a call, 1-800-316-316, or jump over onto Facebook and you can leave a comment there.
Yeah, we want to hear. Are you passionate about this? We want to hear your thoughts on this.
We certainly do.
Phil's obviously a bit more of a rule obeyer than I am, and I'm
I
all
am.
about the sniff test. Trust the nose.
I'm not surprised.
The nose
actually.
knows, Phil.
Does the nose knows? Well, there is the question. Hey, jump on board and you can have your say.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me Vision's breakfast show is now available around the clock and on demand? Incredible! The Rise and Shine podcast. Rise and Shine.
Are you ready for a challenge? Listen to the mystery sound, correctly name the Bible story, and win a great prize. Sounds easy, but is it? Rise and Shine's Bible Stories Sound Off.
Incredible technology here at Vision on display in this game. We have a time machine. It goes back in time. Nuclear powered,
Yes.
mind you.
So high tech.
There's not a huge amount of nuclear power that gets used
No, not in
Australia.
Australia.
So we've got this, it's quite remarkable. It goes back in time to a Bible story. We suck out a sound and your job at home is to match the sound to the story.
Now, we made a promise yesterday, Phil. We said we would play a little bit more of the sound today.
Yes.
So we're going to do that right now. So what you're about to hear is fresh. It's longer. It's more exhaustive. And there's a little bit more information in there, which means there's a bit more of a clue in there. So today could be your day to win the chosen DVD by winning the game. Are you ready for the sound, Phil?
I'm leaning in.
You're leaning in? Okay,
I'm
well.
leaning in.
Hey, look, that says enough. Here's the sound.
There was more. You were right.
Yes, but wait, there's more.
Well, can we listen to that again? Because people might have been leaning in and then not listened.
Sure can.
That is actually a very realistic sound.
It is.
I'm going to say that with that little extra piece, you might be able to get it today. Do you reckon?
It's possible.
It's doable.
It could also be the sound of someone going to an outback toilet in the old days of
Wow.
Australia's history.
Yes.
With the gate
guess,
opening and
but
you're
we
walking
don't-
out to the
yeah,
dunny. But we
yeah.
talked about that last week.
We
But
don't
no,
go there.
it's definitely not that because that's not in the Bible, Phil.
No, that's right.
This is a sound. If you're new to Vision, this is a sound from a Bible story. So if you think you know your Bible, you may recognise this sound and go, I know what story that is.
Yeah.
What about one more listen, Phil? What do
Okay,
you
let's
think?
please. Well, if you think you know, now is the time to give us a call. 1-800-316-316. Don't sit there and yell at your smart speaker.
You know, why don't we give people some
you've got
examples
time
of
for that?
what it's not?
Okay,
yeah, let's
yeah,
have a look.
okay,
So
good,
this
good,
is answers that were wrong, but gee, they were good answers.
Okay.
Though.
Joseph being thrown into the cistern and the lid put on top after they took the coat of many colours off.
The eighth plague of locusts.
All right. Well, here's a verse from Ezekiel.
Oh,
And behold, the glory and brilliance of the God of Israel was coming from the way of the east, and his voice was like the sound of many waters, and the earth shone with his glory.
Jesus goes away by himself to pray at night.
I was listening to it in the background. It sounds a bit like frogs, like, in the seven plagues.
God was drying up the Red Sea for the Israelites to walk through the Red Sea.
I think it could be Nicodemus sneaking out at night time to meet Jesus. Genesis 2:19-20, when Adam is in the garden and God creates all the animals and the birds, and Adam names them.
very good. I've got an extra one for you then.
What is it?
Because based on your last conversation with me 5 minutes ago, maybe it's Adam going to the pantry to get his supplies for brekkie.
It's possible, Phil. Do you want me to? Let me see if that is the right
There's
answer.
Adam. Oh.
My favourite bit of those answers, Phil, was where at one point there you went, "Ooh!" Did you hear
we
that?
get excited.
Ooh, Phil.
And fact, you could probably just put a whole bunch of my reactions together and I'm sure that would be funny. But if you want to hear a reaction today firsthand, you have to give us a call.
Yes.
1-800-316 316. What is the Bible story that sound relates to? Let's check in with the news headlines, and on the other side, I'm hoping it's going to go off today.
The Rise and Shine podcast.
More to the sound today, which is a bit exciting.
And it's a great prize, isn't it, Phil?
It is. It's today. It's a Chosen DVD, the latest season, sitting here ready to go.
You know what Phil says when she hears that?
Oh, Andy. Oh, dear. Shall we have a listen to the new sound? That's more impressive.
Okay.
Oh, there is a bit more to the sound.
That's Phil's reaction to the new sound.
Oh, dear.
Yes,
Work
I may
in
have
radio,
just,
they said. It'll be fun, they said.
I may have just captured Phil's reaction to one of the wrong answers from yesterday, and I just really like it. It's
It sounds a bit like an owl, actually, which might be featured in that particular
we could
sound.
add it to the sound tomorrow. Who
We
knows?
could. I could be part of it.
You could be part of the Bible story, Phil.
How good would that be? But look, Edna is on the line. Edna from Gunnedah, what do you think it might be?
I thought it might be the dove flying into Noah.
Oh, yes. I like that.
That's a very good guess because it does sound a bit bird-like.
Edna from Gunnedah, I tell you what, it pains me to push this button,
you
Edna,
can't.
but
Oh, Edna, I'm so sorry, but great guess.
That's okay.
Thank you for playing.
I've been listening to Vision Radio all night. It's been on and off, and when I wake up, I just let it go, and I go to sleep, and then I wake up and I listen to Greg Laurie. I love Greg Laurie.
yeah.
I have his a revelation set of
Teaching DVDs.
Yeah, Edna,
Yes,
that's so
they are
beautiful. We're going to have to keep moving, but thank you so much for calling. We
Great chatting.
love having a
Wonderful
chat.
day.
Bye.
God bless you, Edna.
Blessings. Bye.
Colin, what do you reckon it might be?
Oh, gee, I got hundreds of things in my mind, but I'm thinking maybe when Nicodemus went to Jesus at night.
That's a very good guess.
That's an excellent guess.
Yes.
Is it the right answer, though?
Come on. No, sorry, Colin. Try again. Bye. Oh, dear. Well, the sound lives to another day.
It sure does, Phil. Maybe tomorrow.
You have to explain what that is because no one's understanding. They don't know.
That was
you
Phil's
really,
reaction to one of the answers
Yeah.
yesterday. Even though she knew it was wrong, she still went,
Well, that's me getting excited.
you were
for
excited
people.
about
I
a
get
wrong
excited.
answer. Because you knew that this sound was coming. But you still got excited anyway.
Well, I do get excited.
You got to love the enthusiasm, Phil.
Well, thank you.
That's what people like about you, the enthusiasm.
That's what I'm here for, the enthusiasm for all things.
We call you E-Phil.
E?
E-Phil, enthusiastic Phil.
Yeah, there you go.
You're the E-Phil.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
Yep.
Yeah. What would we call the Andy then? What would be the equivalent?
You'll have to think
I'll
about
have
that.
to.
I
I'll
don't
have
know.
a think. Okay. Well, if you've got an idea, let us know. But coming up, we have been putting it out there. Do you abide by use by dates, or do you have some different rules that you apply at your house? Is the sniff test all you need, for example? We're going to have some answers coming up next on Rise and Shine on Vision.
We're caffeinated and ready to face the day. This is Rise and Shine on Vision.
It's unfortunate, really, that you can't make food new again.
No.
Like once it goes off, it's off.
Yes.
And so we've been asking the question today on the back of finding something which we couldn't even identify here in a Vision fridge that we have since thrown away.
We discarded it.
We didn't smell it even. We just threw it in the bin.
We felt it. Well, I could smell it.
Could you smell it?
As
It was
soon as I opened up
disgusting.
the fridge, it smelled.
We weren't sure what it was.
And I felt it. It felt very gooey. It was in a plastic bag. So I just removed it into the garbage can.
And at 5:30 in the morning, that's not what you want to welcome your day in with.
No.
So we just discarded it.
Yes, had to be discarded.
It has got us thinking about use by dates. Do you abide by them? Are you a stickler for the rules, or do you have some other criteria that you use? Andy, you're a bit of a stickler for the rules when it comes to use by dates.
Am I?
The opposite, sorry.
No, I'm a
Not-
stickler for the nose. I'm a stickler for have a sniff.
Oh, dear.
Suss it out first.
And we've got Richard on the line. Richard, how do you go with a use by date?
Well, I'm with Andy.
Oh.
We need to go with the nose, and I know it's never too early for a dad joke. We need to trust our instinct. STINKS.
Inner stink. Yes, I'm with you, Very. I see what you did there. It's Father's Day week, so we can accept Father's Day jokes this week, only this week. Well, Rich, that's okay. So has it ever gone wrong for you? Has it always led you well, your nose?
Yes, the big head pull away. Well, I don't think I should have smelt that. Yeah.
It's because once the milk gets sort of floaty things on it and it smells as soon as you open it, you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Although cheese, you can scrape the mould off.
No. Are you really? Are you serious?
Yeah. My wife used to work in the cheese factory, and it was her job to, when she was a teenager, to scrape the mould off the cheese.
Really?
I don't know. That doesn't sound...
So they could still sell it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess the mouldier it gets, it just becomes more expensive cheese, doesn't it, really?
The more acute the flavouring is, Phil, yes.
It matures.
Yes, it matures. The flavour increases. Matures. Yes, nothing like a bit of mature cheese, Phil.
You know, it's actually almost too early in the morning to be picturing that, but there you go.
Well, blue vein cheese is obviously just mouldy cheese, isn't it?
I suppose.
It goes all right.
We are after you to get involved this morning and tell us about what are those unwritten rules in your house about use by dates. Are you a stickler for the use by date, or are you just keeping it there until your nose tells you otherwise? Give us a call, 1800 316 316. Send us a text, or you can jump onto Facebook, Rise and Shine Vision, and get involved there.
It's the daily podcast of your favourite Aussie breakfast show, Rise and Shine.
I wanted to give a shout out to Gawler in South Australia, one of our wonderful vision towns, listening along on 87.6 FM. And Gawler was established in 1839. It's the oldest country town in the state of South Australia. Ooh. So it's got this wonderful rich heritage and that beautiful city, that country sort of streetscape attached to it. But it's not that far from Adelaide. So it's a bit of a drive. You get to Gawler, and then that's the gateway to the Barossa Valley and
to the hills,
parts of the world.
Sounds very nice, Phil.
It does sound nice. And look, the weather, about 7.8 degrees right now. It's about 7.8 degrees. And it feels like...
Let me guess. 4.3.
No, 3.3. You're way off.
Whoa, way off the mark today.
And it's going to head to 19 during the day. So a gorgeous part of the world. And g'day if you're listening to us in Gawler this morning.
So glad you do. Well, Phil, yesterday I talked about the death of Samson, and you probably thought, well, that's it. We got to move on from Samson.
Sure.
But there's one more verse I'm going to read out. It's the last verse in chapter 16 of the book of Judges. And the Bible says after he died, in verse 31, his brothers and his father's household came down and they took him and they brought him up and they buried him. Now, they buried him, Phil, between Zorah and Eshtaol. Early in his life, I mentioned this at the very beginning of his life, the Bible says as a young man, the Spirit of God began to move upon him between Zorah and Eshtaol. So God started dealing with him there and speaking to him and revealing himself to him. And I believe his family buried him there because they knew he loved that place. I believe that was his place.
Yeah,
we can all have a place where we seek God. We can have a place where we encounter God. I believe that was Samson's place. And for some of us, it's the closet. Some of us, it's the car. You might have a certain area you go to when you pray. For some of us, it's a church we're involved in. We encounter God there in the worship or in prayer. Samson, I believe, Phil, had that place, and so that's why his family buried him there.
Wow,
between
love
Zorah and Eshtaol.
There you go.
Can you see why Samson's giving me a high five in heaven? I've just
You are giving him a
talking about
huge
Samson.
rap. You are.
And then it says at the very end of that verse, he had judged Israel for 20 years.
Wonderful. And it is really that moment, isn't it? Because you can see him moving away from God at times in his life. But I wonder if it was when he came back to that place, to the secret place with God, recharge, refresh, and then move forward with God. That's the place that we need, isn't it? I love the car, to be honest.
Yeah.
Being alone in the car, time with God, or walking in nature. If I can get to nature, that's even better. But that having your place, where is it that you encounter God?
We all need that place.
We all need that place.
You found the podcast of Vision's breakfast show, Rise and Shine.
Something that we do every day is encourage you to jump in and read something from the Bible. Just like you're having brekkie in the morning and it's good for your body, reading something from the Bible is good for your spirit and builds you up so you're ready to go about your day.
It certainly does, Phil. It builds up our faith. As we said earlier, we're sheep. compared to God, we're dumb. I mean, a shepherd is much smarter than his sheep. Well, that's the Bible picture that he paints of us, the Lord paints of us. Compared to God, we know nothing. We need his wisdom, don't we? We need his advice in life. And that's what the Bible is. It's the workshop manual.
It is basic instructions before you leave Earth.
Oh, you had to better me, didn't you, Phil?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't.
It's the workshop manual as well.
But if I did, then,
it's the
so
workshop
be it,
manual,
I guess.
But it is. It's the book of life, isn't it? It helps us in our everyday lives.
Oh, that's what it's here for. And I still remember to this day being amazed when I found out, I was probably about 18, that there were actually promises in the Bible that were meant for me to live by today. And it just blew my mind and has changed me ever since. So,
really?
Yeah.
Why did it blow your mind?
I think because up to that point, I thought it was like a historical book, a book of rules, perhaps some good advice. But I had never really thought that you could pray the promises in the Bible. And at that moment when someone said, when it says by his stripes you are healed, you can actually ask God for that verse to come alive in your world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that for me was like, wow, God actually has meant for me to live a different life here on earth to everybody else. It should be a difference in our lives compared to others when we're applying the word of God.
Isn't that great, Phil?
It is cool. And look, James here is he's Jesus' brother, and he wrote a letter. And it's recorded for us here in the Bible in the New Testament. A lot of the New Testament are these letters that went to and fro amongst the early church. James has written a letter, and we have been reading through it over the last few days, and we've actually got to the end. We got to James 5, and what we like to do at the end of one of these Bible studies is just take our favourite piece from it.
A little roundup, Phil.
A little roundup.
So what's the Phil roundup?
I was going to say, what was you want to start?
Okay, I'll go first because you've had a bit of a chat.
And I
there.
don't know what yours is.
This is not even a roundup. This is actually the final part of the book of James, and I want to mention it because it says, brethren, this is in verse 19, if anyone among you wanders from the truth, and someone turns him back, let him know that he who turns a sinner from the error of his way will save a soul from death and cover a multitude of sins. Now, this is also touched on in Galatians chapter 6, verse 1, where Paul said, brethren, if a man is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness, considering yourself, lest you also be tempted. So again, some really practical advice from James there, that if anyone wanders from the truth and someone turns him back, and Paul says spiritual maturity has the capacity to restore. So, Phil, we should be all about restoration. We should be all about sometimes people make mistakes. I don't know about you, Phil, I've made mistakes. And sometimes people make huge mistakes. Sometimes people make little mistakes. But regardless, we all trip up at times. But spiritual maturity shouldn't be judging and condemning and making people feel isolated and like a bad person. Spiritual maturity should be saying, you know what, you can be restored.
Yes.
God wants to restore you. He wants to forgive you, clean you up, wash you again, and just set you back on the path again. And that's what spiritual maturity is. And I don't know about you, that I find that encouraging, because sometimes we can perceive some Christian leaders as being hard, and they preach a hard message and a hard word, and they seem really strict. Well, yeah, there's an aspect to the Word of God which is black and white. You can't change it. But real spiritual maturity has a lot of love in it. And we see Jesus hanging out with sinners, having dinner with them, prostitutes washing his feet, and he doesn't stop them. He lets them wash his feet. And that's the heart of God. So that's my final takeaway from James, that he encourages us, let's not be judgmental, condemning Christians, but loving Christians who seek to restore those who've made some mistakes.
Beautiful, Andy. That is so important.
I should write a song about it, shouldn't I?
Well, yes.
It could be a nice song.
Oh, look out for that in our future Rise.
Well, you said beautiful. I thought, okay, that's a good song.
Well, there we go. You could do that. And I think that is so precious, because when you think about it, that's the heart of the Father, right? The heart of Jesus. I've been learning and doing some study on Zacchaeus. And, everyone didn't like Zacchaeus. He's the chief tax collector, clearly ostracized from his own people as a result. But Jesus, what did he see? He saw him, he knew him by name, and he went home with him.
Went to his house.
He went to his house to restore him. And Jesus didn't even have to preach the gospel. No. Zacchaeus, in that environment, when he was seen, when he was known, he freely then gave back.
Yeah.
And freely salvation came to his house.
Because he must have felt loved.
Yeah.
He must have realized, wow, God still loves me. I'm a bad person.
Yes.
And God still loves me. Because what was the first thing he said when he repented?
That's right. Zacchaeus. Well, he said, I'm going to give everything back. Here we go. And I will be giving to the poor, and I'm giving half my wealth away.
So he knew he'd done the wrong thing.
100%.
But when he felt that love from God, and he knew he was loved, that's when his heart responded in such a positive way.
That's right. And we can be that. We can be, that's true discipleship, isn't it? When you're trying to be Jesus in the world, Well, how did Jesus act towards those who were unloved by everybody else? Well, he saw them, he knew them by name, and he drew them to himself. He went somewhere familiar with them.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so good, Phil. You know, there's an old joke, Phil, that one time there was a little boy, a young man, I should say, got kicked out of a church. He broke some rule or something, and he was outside sobbing, crying. And Jesus came along and said, son, what's wrong? And he goes, oh, they just kicked me out of the church. Wow. And Jesus said, oh, don't worry about it, son, they've kicked me out as well.
Oh, dear.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, right.
But
Not so funny
there's some
as a
truth
joke
in
goes.
it that we should never cast people out. Yeah. We should never get rid of people. We got to love and restore people. Now, look, there are some serious sins, and serious sins need serious repentance and serious prayer and serious counselling and restoration. But the church should never be the group of people that cast people out, but we should always welcome people, as you said, back to the Father.
That love is patient, love is kind. There's so much in that. And that's I think that's a beautiful end to the book of James because it really wraps up, I think, the heart of it. There's so much in there. We encourage you, do jump over and have a read of James together.
Didn't he do a good job, Jimmy? Hey?
Jimmy?
Young Jimmy.
You reckon he was Jimmy?
I'm calling him Jimmy.
Okay.
Wee Jimmy.
Okay.
He wrote a nice book.
Let's go with that. We'll see. When we get to heaven, you can literally sit down with James. And that's the beauty of reading the Bible is you're going to get to heaven. How cool is it to be able to have a conversation and say, I read your book. I read your letter.
Yeah.
This is what I got from it.
Yep.
Otherwise, you could get to heaven and meet Habakkuk and go, Habakkuk who? Well, we should at least know. Read the book. Read the book now so you're prepared. Anyway, tomorrow we are going to jump into a brand new book. And when we put a poll up last time, the book that came third was Jonah.
Yeah.
Big whale, big fish, something.
Yeah, big story.
Big story. Actually, it's a quick story, but it is a big one.
It's a good one.
We are going to be heading to the book of Jonah tomorrow. If you want to jump in early, you could head over to the Old Testament, the first half of the Bible, find Jonah and have a read of it. But next up, Andy, we put the call out there about use-by dates.
Yes.
And have we got a doozy for you? A doozy of a story. Jordan is hanging by, not only does it involve use-by dates, but a goldfish as well. And look, to be fair, he's probably putting his sister under the bus, but we'll be chatting to Jordan next on Rise and Shine.
Always encouraging and always fun. Rise and Shine on Vision.
Dancing here in the studio a little bit there, Andy.
Well, it's funny that the artist is Jordan because I think the caller is Jordan as well because we've been talking, Phil, about use-by dates. Do you listen to a use-by date? Do you respect it or you just discard it and do the sniff test? There's so many ways of going about it, isn't there, Phil?
Yeah, that is right. It's all started because here in Vision and the headquarters, Andy and I found something nondescript in the fridge. We weren't sure exactly what it was. We disposed of said item.
We did.
It didn't have a use-by date on it. Didn't look like, I didn't even know if it was a lie. Like it was.
We didn't know what it was.
We didn't know what it
didn't look healthy, though.
But it's got us thinking about use-by dates. Should you follow them? Well, the ABC, one of their reporters, has reported about this exact topic. So let's check in and see what Leela has to say.
Wait, how seriously are we all taking the best before dates on food products? Because it looks like there might be lots of Australians glancing at the date and throwing out things they definitely could eat. Australians throw out about 7.6 million tonnes of food each year, and experts think it could be partly to do with some label confusion. Somewhere along the way, the best before dates seem to have lost their meaning. They're meant to be a guide, not a hard cut to say this food can't be eaten. In a new study, RMIT researchers used this stat of Aussie families throwing out about $2,500 worth of totally fine food a year. So in this new project, academics and industry experts were brought together to brainstorm some solutions. There were two main research groups and they came up with similar ideas to give the customers more details, not less. Rather than the general and usually early best before date, they had ideas like a later do not eat after this date warning. They also put forward ideas like different colours, images, or even QR codes to give people a better idea. This project is planning to bring together big stakeholders to come up with an updated national framework.
There you go. So that was thanks to the ABC. The RMIT figure, though, that we're throwing away $2,500 worth of food a year unnecessarily.
Each household.
It's massive.
That's cray-cray.
So we have put it out there. Do you follow a use-by date, or are you a stickler, or like Andy, is the sniff test the way to go?
Right. Does the nose know, Phil?
And I can see we've got Jordan on the line. Jordan, tell us about your thoughts.
I worked in a butcher shop for a long time, and look, I don't know if this is really something to go off, but one of my things is if it is a little bit older and you eat it, and you don't die from it, then you're just giving your immune system a better chance the next time.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like a booster shot.
Is it though?
Like a natural booster shot.
Wow.
Come on, Jordan. You're singing from my song sheet.
Do you have anything to back that up, Jordan, or is it just a gut instinct there?
Look, my sister, we went camping when we were kids, and we went and caught yabbies out bush, and
cool.
we caught a goldfish in our yabby net. Don't ask me how we did.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the story was, but my sister was convinced somehow that kissing the fish was a good idea.
Okay.
She caught dysentery.
Well,
from
let's
kissing the fish?
But hang on, let's go back. She might have thought it was going to turn into a prince. You know,
That's
she
a
might
frog.
have
No, that's frogs normally.
read one of the fairy tales. She might have thought, hello.
She misread it because it's normally a frog that turns into a prince. So she got sick from kissing a goldfish.
She got sick from kissing a wild goldfish.
Huh.
It didn't kill her, but she's never caught dysentery since then. So.
There you go. It hardened her
So
up.
you reckon the antibodies from the raw goldfish that did the job for life?
Love it.
One kiss. So if a medical centre for you, Jordan, would look like just a bunch of animals and off food, you'd be like, if it doesn't kill you, it'll just make you stronger.
Well, I want to revisit the story, Jordan. So which end did she kiss? I just want to get some clarity here. Did she kiss it on the lips or was it a sideways kiss? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't remember.
No, I don't think that's important information.
I dare hope it was sideways.
Mouth to mouth and a wild goldfish, which I've never heard of before. That's next level. That's respect.
Well, was she disappointed when it didn't become a prince?
I was disappointed. I was a bit disappointed.
I'm disappointed too. That just sounds fabulous.
I'm thinking if Rambo heard about your sister, he would have said, you know what, you can join me on my next mission.
What, to
you
kiss
and me.
things?
Yeah.
To kiss stuff?
Yeah, she's gung-ho. She's hardcore. She's going there. She's eating things that would make a billy goat puke. She's passing the test.
She's kissing it. That's the other.
What a legend. And she's
very
never been
good.
sick since. What's your sister's name?
Michaela.
Michaela, you're a legend. If you're
Respect.
listening right now, Respect. We respect thee for your goldfish kissing feats.
Well, and Jordan, thank you for calling. Brilliant to know. It hasn't killed. If it doesn't kill you, it's probably okay. It just toughens you up. Thank you so much.
No, it's all good.
Have a great day. Bye. Well, there you go.
I respect his sister so much. You know, I'm sure if Rambo had another op to do, Rambo 18 or whatever he's up to now, that sister would be in the team, I'm sure.
Really
I'm
going
sure
out
of
and
it.
just kissing things.
Well, no, just being willing.
Being willing to have a go.
Grab something out of a pond, just kiss it, eat it, do what you got to do to survive, Phil.
Love the Rise and Shine podcast? Tell a friend today.
Phil, I'm so happy today. We're joined by Stephen Biggs. He's actually a former police officer. He's now a bush pilot with Mission Aviation Fellowship. And just to make sure we all stay above board today, Chris Barnes, the CEO of Mission Aviation Fellowship, joins us as well. And the boys are back. Guys, so good to have you today on Rise and Shine.
Thanks. It's great to be here. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And Maverick, you're looking really cool today, mate.
Oh,
Really
look,
hot.
that's what everybody says. You know, I don't believe it though, Chris. But Stephen, you've got an interesting story. You're a former police officer with the QPS, the Queensland Police Service. You're now a bush pilot. How does a copper become a Mission Aviation Fellowship pilot?
Yeah, great question. I wanted to be a pilot since I was 8 years old, and I got my pilot's license before I could drive a car. Mum and Dad used to drive me to the airport, and then I'd get in the plane and go around and do whatever I wanted on my own. So it's pretty crazy. We actually joined MAF first. I had 3 little children, so we took our boys with us out on the mission field. I was working in Arnhem, living and working in Arnhem Land, and I spent some time in South Africa and Mozambique and Madagascar. Botswana and Namibia, flying all through southern Africa. And then when our kids were at the age we wanted to put them into school in Australia, we came back to Australia, and that's when I joined the police. And so I was in Brisbane, Queensland police officer for 11 years. I always had it on my heart that I wanted to go back to MAF. MAF has always been my passion. It's been what the Lord's had on my heart ever since I was young, and I love working with MAF, just love it. And so when our kids grew up, I was a police officer, they grew up and they went to school and university. And then my wife and I then went back to Africa in 2019. We served in Uganda and then in Liberia in West Africa. We were there for 4 years. And then 2 or 3 years ago, we started having grandkids. Well, we didn't. My kids did. Like, started having kids, and we had grandkids, which was wonderful. And the call for home came around, and the opportunity came up. I'm now a training captain and flight instructor here in Mareeba in beautiful North Queensland. And I get to work with current MAF pilots in PNG, in Arnhem Land, in Timor, in Africa, training them, upskilling them, sharing with them, mentoring them, praying with them, just kind of giving back a little bit of what I've got from MAF over the years. And I see what they do. I see those guys out on the field, and they've got kids with them as well, and they're fantastic fathers, and they do a great job. And I love what I do. And so here I am. And that's a very quick story, but that's where I am.
Wow, if someone's listening today, Stephen, I'm just imagining they might be thinking, MAF, what on earth is this? Because it's incredible the ministry that Mission Aviation Fellowship do as you're flying into these remote areas. You've been on the front line. What are some of the things that you've seen right on the edge of that MAF have been able to deliver to these remote communities?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the stories are just never ending. But, we do a lot of medivacs, particularly in places like Timor. The guys there do a lot of medivacs. I've flown in Timor a bit and done some medivacs myself. And they do literally hundreds of medivacs. Wow. And that's a common story around the MAF world. In Liberia, there were places that were so remote that it would take 3 or 4 days to drive. And yet it'd take me an hour in my aeroplane, an hour and a half, sometimes in my aeroplane. And that's what MAF can do. That's the ability that we have with aviation to be able to get into these remote areas where there are families that are just stuck in the middle of nowhere. And so, they need education, they need healthcare, they need the gospel. Yeah. And so for us to be able to get in there, and so I've done medivacs where if we didn't do that, for sure the person would have passed away. And so, do that. And that's a common story around the world with MAF. That's why we do what we do.
Yeah, you do have an amazing story. I mean, I like how you just put your family first, your kids first. You came back to Australia, became a police officer. But was it like that old story? You know that old story where the eagle somehow ends up living with the chickens and it thinks it's a chicken, it's hanging out with the chickens, but every now and then it would look up and see eagles flying in the sky and just sort of think, oh, I'd like to be able to fly one day too. Was that you when you were in the QPS, mate? You were working as a cop, but deep down inside, every time you looked up and saw a plane fly overhead, you're like, oh, I want to get back up there and in the sky?
No, absolutely. I mean, once you get, I'm sure all the pilots out there will tell you, once it's in your blood, that's it. It's in your blood. You can't get it out. You're always a pilot. And you're right. Working in the police felt like I was working or dealing with a lot of chickens a lot of time. Use your language.
Or turkeys. Yeah, the other analogy is turkeys, yeah.
Yeah, turkeys, sure. No, it all works. But yeah, no, look, I've always been a MAF pilot. I've always wanted to be a MAF pilot. It's all I've ever wanted to do. And so the police was great. I made a lot of great friends. I enjoyed being a police officer. I really did. Running around, driving fast and tackling people and stuff was fun. But God's always had it on our hearts, both my wife and I, to be in missions. And I love flying and I love MAF. And so for sure, the goal was always to go back. And like you say, we put our kids first. They went through school, they graduated, and then my wife and I were able to go away, which isn't as easy as it sounds. It was hard leaving our kids at home. We've had our kids with us on the mission field and we've been without our kids on the mission field, and both have their pros and cons for sure.
As a dad, because we're coming up to Father's Day, I mean, that's beautiful to have your kids and actually take them on an adventure with you. What was that like when they were little and you were in the trenches with the kids, but then you're also flying? I'm thinking your wife must be incredible, but what was that like as a dad, that adventure with the kids of faith?
My wife is incredible. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you pointed that out. I couldn't agree more. She is incredible, and she was at home homeschooling our kids for most of the time we were in Arnhem Land. And so, with 3 young boys, that was not an easy task. And I'm out flying around, loving life, and she's at home with the boys homeschooling, which she enjoyed as well. But yes, it was great to have the boys up there with us. They got down and dirty. We were living in an Aboriginal community called Yirrkala. We were in Elcho Island first, and then we were in Yirrkala. And, they got along great with the Aboriginal kids. And, I'd go out and they'd all just be in the mud together and they'd be playing footy together. And, it was great. And the fishing there is pretty cool too. So, we had great times there with the boys. Really, really did. Yep.
Awesome, mate. I'm just going back to your police officer days. So, like you said, you enjoyed driving fast, lights and sirens. Was there ever a time, because I've seen that TV show Dukes of Hazzard, and I'm pretty sure Boss Hogg and the sheriff every now and then manage to get their cars airborne. Off the record, Stephen, of course, this is not official. Did you ever get one of those police cars just off the ground a little bit as a pilot?
Andy.
Yep. Okay. All right. Let's just say I made a couple of nice 4-point landings. I'll leave it at that.
Respect, brother. Respect. You got me. You got me. Can we take a short break? It's so good to hear a little bit of your story, Stephen. But when we come back, I believe there's a big Father's Day thing going on with MAF, and we'd love to hear about that. So, boys, can you stick around a little bit longer?
Absolutely.
Just the right mix of things to inspire and things to make you smile. Rise and shine on Vision.
Boys, what are we doing for Father's Day this year?
So, guys, we're doing Fuel for Father's Day. So, what we're doing is we're looking to instead of buying those, you know what, you buy that Maverick book or you buy some socks or the usual gifts that you get, Dad, the box of chocolates, right?
Yes.
This year, here's the opportunity to go on the MAF website. So go on maf.org.au/dad, DAD. And there you'll find a range of cards that we've got that you can buy jerry cans, right? You can buy 50 litres of fuel. You can buy 20 litres of fuel. And so instead of buying those socks, you can buy Dad some fuel. And that fuel will go in the planes, and that will keep us helping people, supporting people who really need our help in isolated communities.
What does the fuel mean, Chris? Like, I'm just thinking as you've got people out there right now, and they're like, actually, that's a good idea. I could buy Dad something that's meaningful. Putting fuel in these planes, there's an opportunity to save lives, isn't there, Chris?
Absolutely. There really is, right? You look at, and even a short flight, right, can make a difference, right? And we've got people, whether it's in Arnhem Land or Timor or other countries. I mean, there was a young lady, Juvina in Timor-Leste recently, who was bitten by a snake, right? She's 4 years old.
Oh.
She's out in a remote community, and the local hospital, there's no real hospital there, but there's no anti-venom. So she was in a bad way. And with her dad, he reached out. We were able to get a flight in there. Within 20 minutes, we had them in Dili, and she survived.
Wow.
And without that, she would not have made it, right? And so that card, buying that fuel, that's what enables us to do.
Gee, that story alone just completely justifies the whole ministry, doesn't it? To save that one little human's life. And who knows what she's going to do with her life. She may go on to do something great for her nation or her local community. But, yeah, I really like this idea. So, dads, instead of receiving a gift that, like you said, Chris, you know, we're all dads. The amount of Father's Day gifts I've received over the years, and they don't really serve much practical use in my life. But to actually be able to receive a gift that the dads then gift to someone else, like that beautiful little girl on Timor there who was rescued by Mission Aviation Fellowship. I really like this initiative.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, look, we're excited about it. We've got a special. You've been helping us with our 80th anniversary, and so we've even got a special 80th anniversary jerry can card. Right, so if you go on the website and look that up, I mean, that is particularly cool. And so all of these ideas are just around. We can't fly those planes without fuel, and we need the support of your listeners to help us with that. And it really does. It makes such a difference.
Well, Chris, we are so excited to be able to highlight that today. We're going to be talking about presence here on Rise and Shine. And this is something that's not going to get lost. It's certainly a really important initiative, and we encourage everyone to jump in and have a look.
This could be the greatest Father's Day gift some of us ever received, because we're not just being blessed, we're actually being a blessing. So, Chris, just remind us again, we go to MAF, is it .com.au/Father's Day? Is that where we go?
Gosh, you need to go onto the World Wide Web. And then
what's that? I haven't heard that one.
World Wide
the
Web.
Insta-web?
Is that www?
www.
Oh,
I've heard about it. And then where do we go after that?
.maf. .org.
Oh, you're an org. Yep.
We're an org, mate.
Of course they are.
.au.
Yep.
And then /.
Yep.
I'll spell it for you because I know what you like. D-A-D.
Oh, Dad. Okay, Dad. Can I do that backwards as well? Does it work backwards and forwards?
I don't.
That one you can.
Only the
That one
last
you
bit.
can.
Oh, dear. So we are encouraging you, head over to maf.org.au/dad.
You nailed it.
Get all the details. I'm looking at them right now. I love the cards. There's even one for Andy. You can colour in yourself.
Oh, I love it.
So you can colour in a card for Dad.
Yep.
That's very nice. Amazing.
Come on, dads, let's get on board. Tell our kids to buy us an MAF gift card for fuel so that MAF can continue to be a blessing all over the world. Chris Barnes and Stephen Biggs, we want to thank you so much for joining us from Mission Aviation Fellowship here on Rise and Shine.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us.
I've heard of all-day breakfast on the menu, but here's a brekkie show available 24/7. Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily Podcast.
I want to do the weather from Taroom in Queensland.
Oh, Taroom.
Taroom. Now, Taroom is sort of inland from Maryborough and Harvey Bay. That's kind of the picture of it. But can you imagine if you'd set off from the Darling Downs to travel to Darwin, so that's 5,000 Ks, and you were German, and it was 1844, what that might be like?
That'd be a hard journey.
It's a hard journey. Well, Ludwig Leichhardt, he set off.
Ludwig Leichhardt.
Yes, is that how you say it?
Ludwig.
Poor
I would
guy,
say
I said
Ludwig,
it completely wrong. 1844, he set off from the Darling Downs, and one of the places he went was Taroom, and he carved his initials into a tree. On the
Ludwig.
journey.
Good old Ludwig.
So he did that one successfully in 1844. He made it to Darwin, and then he tried to go to Perth from Darling Downs, didn't quite make it there, and then tried another one a couple of years later, and then he disappeared. But that first one, winning, like that was amazing.
So Ludwig went missing in action, MIA.
That's my piece of history, Australian history for you today.
That's really interesting.
But Taroom, if you're there, you can still see the tree that he carved his initials in, LL 1844, the year of that very first expedition when he was travelling from the Darling Downs to Darwin. And the initials aren't there anymore, but there is a plaque now on the tree. And if you're there today and you're listening along to Vision on 87.6 FM, the weather for you, about 10 degrees right now. And actually, it feels like 10 degrees. So it's quite consistent. 21 is going to be your high during the day.
There you go. Old Ludwig, I didn't know that he vanished without trace.
He did.
But there were some good Germans, weren't there, Phil? Look, I know they had a few bad ones as well. But did you know in around 1900, Phil, in the state of Queensland, 1 in 3 migrants to Queensland were Germans.
Wow,
there was a real flood of German migrants around 1900, around that era.
If you are German, Guten Morgen, wie geht's? And then you'd say, Danke gut und dir, danke auch gut.
Jawohl.
I know some German. There you
Jawohl.
go. Not a lot, just high school.
I know a Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.
And if it was after 12 p.m, I'd say Guten Abend.
Oh, well done you.
Yes, but anyway, reading out from the Bible, we finished with Samson. Sadly, there's no more I can read about Samson, but Philemon, chapter 1, verse 4, Paul says, I thank my God, making mention of you always in my prayers. And Paul was a man of prayer, wasn't he? He prayed a lot.
Was. And tomorrow on the show, we will be having our hour of power of prayer about this time tomorrow. And so have a look overnight. If you've got things that you would like us to join in prayer with you, we'll have our chappies here, Mark and Cindy. You can send a text during the day tomorrow or jump onto Facebook overnight, and we'll be praying up a storm here at Rise and Shine. But it's good to know you don't have to wait for the hour of power prayer.
It's true.
You can do it any time.
You can pray right now.
Subscribe and listen to the Rise and Shine podcast in the free Vision app. It's easy and available everywhere.
So there's people looking at this very important issue for us.
Well, what about those stats, Phil? How much food's getting thrown at?
$2,500 per household.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. Oh, look, Michelle here, she's weighing in over on Facebook and says, milk always chuck out by the use date. On use by date. I do the sniff test. Leftover chicken only gets 3 days and ham is 5 days. So she's quite particular. Pantry items are gone on the use by date. So there you go. If you want to weigh in, you could head over to Facebook. You could send us a text. Christine says Himalayan salt even has use by dates and it comes from the ground. So there you go. Do with that as you will.
I'll be ignoring that one.
Or you
That's
can
for sure.
give us a call, 1-800-316-316. I can see I've got Georgia on the line. Georgia, are you an abider of those use by dates?
No. Never look at the use by date.
Never look at it even. You don't even consider the use by date.
No. Sniff test.
Oh, you go there, Georgia. You go there.
And even if it doesn't smell good, if you cook it, It'll kill whatever.
No.
Yes, Georgia. Yes.
No way. No, so okay, this is next level. So you've got meat that smells off, and you're telling me it's fine to cook. Just add some salt, and she'll be right, mate.
Absolutely.
No.
I did. I cooked chicken and it didn't smell good, and I cooked it and it tasted fine and it didn't make me sick or anything.
No.
Yeah, because you cooked the you-know-what out of it.
Do you
That's
have
why.
any science that backs that up, Georgia, or is it just a gut?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
There you go. That's
So
science.
Georgia's science comes down to a song, I think, from the 80s, isn't it?
It's work.
But again, George, I'm going to revert back to my earlier statement with Phil. Adam in the garden,
No.
he didn't have any scientific manuals either. He just had his nose and his hands and his eyes, and he could suss it out.
That's right. We're made in the image of God, and God has given us everything we need. Yeah.
And the cook test
smarter than we
too.
think we are.
Say again?
We're like, our bodies are more intuitive than we realise.
Oh.
Absolutely.
I guess it gets rid of it. If it doesn't think it's used by daters and you put it inside, it'll come back out again. Is that what you're saying, Georgia?
What's that, sorry?
No, that's okay.
Yeah, well, no, you're right, because when you cook, the heat does kill the bacteria.
I think there's a limit to that.
You got to cook the you-know-what out of it.
I don't. I reckon that you need. I would want someone other than Andy telling me that was correct.
Well, Georgia just told you, Phil.
Well,
Georgia, tell her again. She doesn't believe you.
Don't believe you.
Say it, Georgia. Say it.
Cook it and it will be just fine.
No, Georgia.
There you go. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses,
No.
Phil, let every fact be established.
A biblical fact, and look, that's in the Bible. This is not. I feel like I want to talk to a scientist about this one. But Georgia, thank you for weighing in. I think.
No worries.
Although parents.
Oh, thank you, Georgia. Georgia, I'm going to tell you a story. I've told Phil this story.
Okay.
There was once this, in Rhodesia, there was a military unit. They were like elite, scouts. And as part of their selection criteria, they would train them, not feed them for 3 days. Then they'd shoot a monkey and put it in the middle of the camp.
This is not good.
And for another 2 days, the monkey would rot in the heat.
Gross.
And they'd be training around this monkey doing, sit-ups, push-ups, runs. Anyway, after 2 days, they said, right, we're going to cook the monkey.
No.
They cooked it. That's true story, Phil. The ones who ate the monkey passed the test. The ones who wouldn't eat it were kicked out.
Well, I'm happy to leave at that point.
Well, you weren't in the team, Phil. But here's the interesting thing, because what they were saying to these guys is, when you're out in the bush, if you see a dead animal, you can cook it and you can still eat it and survive in the bush. So these guys were being trained to survive in the bush.
But we're not in the bush. We're in the middle of suburbia, and we've got a fridge, don't we?
Well, I'm not saying we should go and shoot monkeys and eat, raw, monkeys that have been rotting in the sun. I'm just saying.
What do you think, Georgia?
Georgia is on the money,
Georgia's
because if
gonna
you
weigh
cook
in.
something long enough in enough heat, all the bacteria will be removed. Hey, Georgia.
That's right.
She loved that story. Look, she's giggling.
all over it.
She's laughing.
Oh,
That
dear.
is good. That is good. I like it.
And it's all true. Georgia, all my stories are true. And even if they're not true, they
Yeah,
contain a truth
no.
that if you
Yeah.
apply it, it can change your life.
Well, it would certainly change something. Georgia, thank you so much for giving us a call this morning.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. You too.
Brought to you by the generosity of Vision family members across Australia and around the world. The Rise and Shine podcast.
We've been having a bit of a chat with some friends from Mission Aviation Fellowship, MAF. And Andy, you know these guys quite well. Chris Barnes, the CEO, because you were down earlier in the year at an air show a couple of times with the guys from MAF. They're good value.
The great value. We had a vision table next to their Mission Aviation Fellowship table promoting both of our relevant ministries to all the people at the Avalon Air Show. So I did spend a bit of time with Chris Barnes, the CEO. I was his driver a couple of times.
Yeah,
had to
for
get us
better or
out of some
worse.
sticky situations and big traffic jams, and I went cross country across the paddock
dear.
in the hire car. The hire car was fine, by the way. It survived that trip.
I'm glad to hear it. But you have been known as MAF Man. Like, that has become a bit of a saying. When I speak to Chris, he often refers to you as MAF Man. You're wearing a MAF cap right now, aren't you? Like, you're sporting the MAF merchandise there.
It's my favourite blue.
You do love it.
I like the
You
royal
do
blue.
love it. Well, we've been chatting to them about this wonderful fuel for Father's Day. But actually, while you've got you on the line, guys, tell us, what do you think about Andy here wearing this MAF cap?
You think, me putting the cap on is the first step in my journey? I noticed you're an ex-copper and now a pilot. Do you think there's hope for me to come out of radio and fly planes as well?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Anyone can do it. Come on.
Thank you for the confidence and the faith.
There you
Welcome,
go.
man. Especially with you rocking that hat. I love it. It's looking
Barnesy,
great.
do you hear that? Maverick is actually going to fly one day. I'm going to get my wings.
You know what I've got that's even better than that? And look, on the line, we've got Stephen here. You're a pilot. And Chris, you head up, Math. Well, one of our viewers, our listeners, Graham from Bunbury, he has been inspired, Andy, by the fact that you're known as the Math Man now.
Am I?
Yeah, because there's been, is that right, Chris? You call him the Math Man?
Absolutely.
Maverick?
Maverick the Math Man.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so Chris has been inspired and he's put this together for you. I don't know if the guys are going to be able to see it, but it is actually Andy dressed up in a Maverick outfit, and it says here, Andy McLennan, Top Gun Maverick.
Well, there you go.
And he's got the MAF logo on it, and he's wearing headphones. Actually, and I don't know if that's a pilot or perhaps if you are actually more of the ground crew, but there you go.
I think that's got a little bit of an astronaut feel to it, Phil. But look, I do
Don't
love.
get ahead of yourself, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
But let me finish. That's an introduction statement. But what I was going to say is that, look, I do love Mission Aviation Fellowship. I've flown in the MAF birds in Papua New Guinea. They've got me safely to my destination every time. But the reason I love this hat so much, it's the perfect blue. It's my favourite shade of blue. And it just looks good, so I like it. So I do wear it a lot. That's why they think I'm Math Boy.
Looks very cool, mate. Very cool. Unfortunately, Stephen couldn't afford one.
Oh, no.
Chris never sent me one. I have to use my Cessna one.
We're going to have to raise
I'll get
funds.
you one, mate.
Well,
thanks, Chris.
I'm
All right,
thinking
that's good.
Christmas bonus. If you work really hard between now and Christmas, Stephen, that'll be your Christmas bonus from your boss.
Yep,
so
that'd be great. Yep,
just keep working, brother. Keep working.
Chris will send me one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I expect it in the mail, Chris. Thank you.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, that was a lot of fun. Chris Barnes and Stephen Biggs from Mission Aviation Fellowship. And look, if you want to have a look, thank you to Graham who put together the Maverick little print.
I love that,
It's
Phil.
very cool, and it'll be up on socials. We'll put a picture of it up today so you can have a look at it.
It's also on my mantelpiece upstairs,
Yes,
Phil.
it is.
It's
Very
next to
exciting.
all my
Oh, wow,
special
look at you
items.
go.
It's next to Buttonheart the Bear. That's a part of that organisation that rescues at-risk children. It's got my Nepalese Gurkha knife, all the stuff I value, my Papua New Guinean bow and arrow.
Yeah, look, once again, Andy's desk, it's a treasure trove of, is it trash or is it treasure? Maybe
treasure.
that's a game that we could be playing.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me Vision's breakfast show is now available around the clock and on demand? Incredible! The Rise and Shine podcast. Rise and Shine.
Beat the toaster.
And it's the time of the day where we have a toaster and we beat it by 10 questions, 1 minute and one letter that you've got to put them all together to win. And Mark, one of our wonderful Rise and Shine family members on the line. Morning, Mark.
Good morning. How are you, Phil and Andy?
We are great, mate. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm standing in the warm sun. I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Sun is good for the soul, good for the body. It's good for your eyes even. You get some melatonin. But let me ask you, Mark, have you had your breakfast today?
I have, yes, I have. And I didn't need a surprise package out of the fridge either.
Good.
Talk us through your breakfast. What'd you have today?
I had some, oh, goodness me, now I can't even remember. Oh, sorry, I had some muesli.
Yep.
Oh.
And 2 pieces of toast. And a cup of tea.
Well, that's a big brekkie. That's very impressive.
And what went on the toast, Mark?
Vegemite and honey.
Yes.
Very.
What? Hang
Not
on
at the
a sec.
same time.
You mean one slice had the veggie, one slice had the honey?
Yes, I didn't mix them.
Okay, which one do you eat first, the Vegemite or the honey? Savoury first or sweet first?
Yes, the savoury first.
Yes.
The savoury.
Finish
Yes.
off with the sweet.
Smart man.
You're a man after my own heart, Mark.
Mark knows what he's
And a
doing.
cup of tea.
And
Yeah.
a cup of tea.
Oh, how good. What a
Oh,
great start to the day. What
brilliant.
a great start. I think that's put you in the zone.
Yes.
I feel like you're going to be very mentally agile now, ready to answer 10 simple questions. You've got 60 seconds to answer 10 simple questions. That's 6 seconds per question if you hadn't done the math already. And are you ready to play, Mark?
And your letter is going to be the letter
well-
M for Mark.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, we'll see how we go.
You would have come across that letter before once or twice in your travels.
Just once or twice, yes, I have.
Are you ready to play?
You can do it.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. Mark, your time starts now.
A type of fruit.
Mandarin,
A species of bird.
magpie,
A mathematical term.
gosh. Pass.
A 5-letter word.
Math.
A cooking utensil or appliance.
Ooh. Mixmaster.
A brand of car.
Mazda.
Something you'd find in the bathroom.
Mould.
A game.
Game. Monopoly.
Yes. A country.
Mozambique.
A Bible character.
Moses.
Yep. And a mathematical term.
Oh, gosh. Multiplication.
Yes. And a type of fruit. Did you get that one? You did, I think.
Yeah, mandarin. He said
That's
mandarin.
it. We did it. We did it.
Marky!
Woohoo! You did it.
The time to spare.
You have nailed that. Very impressive.
I estimate that.
I closed my eyes. I had to close my eyes
closed
and
your
pretend I
eyes.
wasn't on radio.
You were just thinking of a happy place. But you know what I think it was? I think it was the Vegemite and the honey on toast that set you up for your
sure it
success.
was.
And the muesli. So
And the muesli, yeah.
and he's had muesli too, and tea, and he's
Extra-
in the sun, and he's got his eyes closed. Very impressive.
Well done,
Mark.
Marky. Well done.
Well done. What a way to start the day. Is your adrenaline pumping now?
Well, it is going, yes, I have to say.
Well, there you go. We've also given you that for
Well,
a day.
what part of Australia are you calling from, Mark?
Well, I'm calling from, would you believe it, out of Young. I'm standing at the castle of Iandra.
There you go.
I do the gardening there, and I am standing right before this magnificent building called Iandra Castle. Yes, that's where I am.
And that's near Young in New South Wales.
Sounds beautiful.
Yes, it is. Yes, about 29 k's from Young. Yes.
Well, represent all of our country New South Wales people. Mark has just done you all proud.
Has he? What?
I think that's a record. I think you took about 45 seconds to answer those 10 questions. That's 4.5 seconds per answer, Mark.
Well, it was the Lord giving me the answer.
Oh, don't over-spiritualise it, my friend. It was you,
All you, Mark.
the muesli, the toast and veggie, the toast and honey.
The sun, the eyes closed.
All of the above.
All of the above.
'Cause
You're a winner.
If it was up to the Lord, everyone would win, but not everybody wins,
Or
mate.
fell.
So
Everyone would win.
there's got to be some humanity in there somewhere.
Well, you did give me a letter I was very familiar
Well,
with.
there you go. It can be hard even with that. Mark, you're a champion. Stay on the line. We'll get you out a prize. Well, that's how it's done. It's like a lesson in how to play Beat the Toaster.
I've heard of all-day breakfast on the menu, but here's a brekkie show available 24/7. Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily Podcast.
What do you do in relation to use by date? What are your unspoken rules, perhaps? Or maybe you speak them out. Do you sniff and just say, she'll be right, mate? Or are you a stickler for the use by date that's on products? Now, Andy, we can guess without even asking, but I do know your preference there. You're all about the sniff and she'll be right, mate.
And common sense. Yeah.
Well,
water.
the sniff more than the common sense.
Water's never going off. I don't use by date no water because you got to look at the other angle of this, Phil. The big companies all making all this food. They want us to throw it out, so we buy more.
that's
They're there
true.
for business. They're there to make money. So we've got to sort of read through the lines there, and say, you know what? Sometimes this stuff can actually still be eaten.
Well, we are getting all sorts of things. I've got texts coming through as well as over on Facebook. You can join the conversation. And there's an anonymous text saying you do need to follow the use by dates. They are best before advisory, but heat will kill microbes, but toxins that they leave behind will not necessarily be destroyed and you could get sick. So you do need to be aware that there is a bit more to it. But then others are like, no, go with the sniff test. So, we're weighing in on a big conversation.
What about a bit of both?
Well, I
Cook it
don't-
and sniff it.
I sniff before I cook because when it comes to meat in particular. But we have put it out there, 1-800-316-316. Kaz is on the line. Kaz, do you use a use by date?
Well, I have a story.
Oh,
Just
good.
like Andy.
Oh,
An
okay.
Andy story, not a monkey, I hope, because I don't think I can handle two in one day.
That was horrible,
It
wasn't it?
was horrible.
Well, it's true,
It's
though.
breakfast time.
All
Andy.
my stories are true.
Well, it's disgusting, all the same. Okay, what have you got, Kaz?
Okay, so before I was a Christian, I went out when I was younger and got on the bevies a little bit. And the next day had a bit of a hangover. So my go-to was strawberry milk back then. So off to the shop I go, get the strawberry milk, thinking, oh, this is going to make me feel better. Anyway, I took a massive swig of it and it was all lumpy.
Ooh.
Oh, no. What happened?
Oh, no. Well, it went everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, lumpy milk.
Yeah.
Did you
lumpy
read the use by
strawberry milk.
date? How out of date was it?
Well, back then I was younger, so I never used to read anything like that because you didn't have to because Mum and Dad cooked for you and,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So no use by date. I didn't read that. But from now on, I've never, ever had strawberry milk.
Yes.
And everything I look at has a use by date.
Yeah, see?
Oh, okay.
So she's got a good reason for being, careful about it. Once bitten, twice shy, as they say.
A little bit of environmental conditioning, I would
I would
describe
say
that as.
so, which is fair enough. Maybe, Andy, if you'd had a worse experience,
That's
then we would be having a
Yeah.
different conversation.
Once bitten, twice lumpy.
Well, if I kissed a wild goldfish like one of our earlier callers' sister did, probably felt. But although she's
there
never
you
had
go.
dysentery since. So,
Well,
it's actually done her the world of good, that girl.
Well, so has it? But anyway, look, Kaz, very good. Thank you for sharing because I think it's good to have the other side of the case explored. So
It is.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'm on your side, Phil.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
on your side.
You call
Yeah,
any
sorry,
time
Andy.
then, Kaz. Anytime. Thanks,
Okay.
Kaz. Bye.
Have a
See you,
good day.
Kaz.
Bye.
I think I love Raymond here on Facebook says, use your nose and chocolate doesn't last long enough to go out of date. So it's never a problem. There is some food that just doesn't go out of date because it gets eaten so quickly.
That is a good point, Phil. But I must confess, though, I had a great aunt, Auntie Doogie, her name was, and we go to her place. She was like
What was her
100.
name?
Aunt Doogie.
Doogie.
Doogie. And we go to her place after school, and I was like in primary school, I remember, and she had these like chocolates that were in wrappers, like family favourites in a jar, and she'd
Yes.
pull them out for us. And they just didn't taste right, Phil. They must have been there a long time, Aunt Doogie.
When they go white, because I have seen that before with chocolate and it goes a bit white and that's at the stage where I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Often because it's chocolate, I still eat it, I have to say.
Because when you're a kid, you just love anything
Well, you
sweet.
don't mind.
And I still remember I didn't like Aunt Doogie's chocolates. They were obviously so. I never really analysed that they were really old. I just thought there's something not right about these. I never liked them, Phil. Never liked them.
Well, even if a kid is starting to notice, then there really is something wrong.
We're caffeinated and ready to face the day.
This is Rise and Shine on Vision.
Terrific Tuesday here on Rise and Shine, and we're so glad you're waking up. If you're waking up in WA, good morning to you, particularly if you're in Boddington in Western Australia, where you're waking up to a beautiful day. It's about 7 degrees right now, heading to 18 during the day. It's going to be fog and then sunny. And if you're wondering where Boddington is, which you might be, Andy.
I'm wondering about the name. It sounds very English to me.
Well, it's located just an hour from Mandurah and it has got rich history. So it possibly does have that English background. It was a gold mining area, still is, the Boddington Gold Mine. In fact, it's home to Australia's largest gold and copper mine.
There you
I
go.
wonder if you can just have a go. Like, can you rock up and go, oh, can I just have a go for a day? Probably not.
I'm kind of imagining there'd be some really good security fences around that mine site, Phil, for lots of reasons.
You think there might be?
One being safety. Not to mention they don't want you digging around finding the gold, but I'm guessing all the gold on the surface is long gone. It's
Probably.
deep deposits inside the earth
I imagine.
that they're digging out.
Yeah, look, I think so. But apparently the earth itself is a gold mine of beauty, we could say, because there's scenic bushland, flowing rivers, open farmland, lots of outdoor stuff that you can do if you're in Boddington.
Isn't it amazing, Phil, that when God made the world, that there was gold in creeks and streams and rivers? Like the Bible says in the book of Genesis that there was gold in the rivers that Adam had.
Yeah.
But even when the first European pioneers came to Australia, they found gold just in creeks, just by panning and stuff. But there was lots of gold deep down inside the earth as well. Isn't it amazing how God just kind of spread it out like that?
It's like it's fun. It's like, like a treasure hunt.
Yeah,
really.
it's like, here's a blessing for you
Here
guys.
go, guys.
Grab some of that.
Have a look under. As you get more adventurous, you'll find more and more.
Now, we can hypothesize again. Do you think Adam was making gold jewellery?
No, I don't.
Phil, you just shut me down.
Oh, sorry.
He could have been making some sweet little rings.
Why would he
some
need
gold
that?
chains.
I don't know. And not initially.
Doesn't a nude man walk around
He
the
was
garden with
pretty
a big
busy.
gold chain look good?
Oh, Andy. Oh, my goodness.
Look, it's in the Bible, Phil. I
that's
can't
well-
run from the Bible, Phil. I'm embracing the
Adam
truth.
with a gold chain is not in the Bible. I just want to put it out there. But
Well,
maybe, have you got a verse from the actual Bible for us to take us through the morning?
I do. I'm in the book of Philemon, Phil.
Oh.
And Philemon chapter, it's only got one chapter. Verse 6 says that the sharing of your faith may become effective. How? By the acknowledgement of every good thing which is in you in Jesus. Now, that's just another way of saying just tell people what God's done in your life. there's so much power in a testimony, in a story, because you know what, Phil? People can argue with your points and your ideas, but they can't argue with your story or your experience.
That's true.
And so if you want to know how to share your faith with people, tell them what God has done in your life, even if it's a small, simple thing that you just found Jesus and that you believed in him and you sensed his joy in your heart. That is gold.
Yes.
That is gold.
Now that's mining for gold.
That's
isn't
real
it?
gold.
That is real gold.
Because people can't take it away.
Can't take gold to heaven, real gold, but you can take that.
There you go.
All the way to heaven.
All the way.
It's the daily podcast of your favourite Aussie breakfast show, Rise and Shine. Rise and Shine.
Do you use the use by date or do you ignore the use by date?
It's a biggie. We found something nondescript in the Vision fridge here. We disposed of it.
It's gone, Phil.
Seemed a bit slimy and a bit gross, but it did get us thinking about whether or not you use them. I'm a bit of a stickler for the rules, so I don't go too far over a use by date.
I haven't noticed that, Phil.
Have you
You're
not?
a stickler for rules,
You
eh?
hadn't noticed that? No, just caviar. I just do whatever I like. You hadn't noticed that in my personality?
No, I haven't. I'll have to
As we
take
get to know
notes.
you,
Okay, Phil likes the rules. Okay, I better start abiding by a few
Andy
more
is
rules.
the exact opposite. He'll break a rule at 10 paces or closer. Any rule, really.
Only if it's for a good cause, Phil.
Any cause, actually.
The laws of
No,
God
yeah.
versus the
Well,
laws of man.
I don't think
One of the great debates in American history. I love that concept.
Wow. But we have been asking for your help this morning to decide on what we should do with use-by dates. And I can see we've got Therese from Katanning in WA, Andy.
WA, so right now it's about 7:15 a.m. in WA. Some of
early
our
bird.
WA listeners are just waking up. Hey, good morning, WA listeners. We love you. So
Yes.
glad you're tuning in this morning, and we do enjoy getting your calls.
And Therese, you're on the line here, up nice and early to weigh in on this important topic. Do you love a use-by date?
Yes, I don't like use by dates. I sniff and use.
Oh,
Sniff
good on
and
you.
use for the win, hey?
Yeah, well, we used to survive before we had use by dates a few years ago.
Exactly.
How do you find it goes for you? Have you ever had any trouble with that?
No, I haven't. I've never got sick.
Oh, well,
and,
there you go.
Yeah. I use my nose quite well, and things like peanut butter and that have used by dates on. Peanut butter doesn't go.
Yeah, what's in peanut butter that could go off even? It's oil, isn't it?
Yeah, or Vegemite. I can't imagine Vegemite ever going off.
No, that's true. I don't think anything would grow in there.
Yeah.
Actually, a friend of mine said, I think I better throw my Vegemite out because she looked at the date and it was 15 years old. So she hardly ever ate it, and she had it in there because, if people came to visit, she'd let them have the Vegemite. And then she decided she looked at the date. It was 15 years old.
15 years?
And she did throw it out. She drew the line at 15 years, did she?
Yeah, she said, I think I better throw it out.
She shouldn't have caved into the pressure. She should have hung in there.
You could have. There might be a Guinness Book record in that.
That's right.
But anyway, yeah, I'm with you. I think the big companies make big money out of people because
do.
things are thrown out and they have to go and buy more. I actually go through the good deal baskets at the supermarket and find things that are either on their date of going out or have already gone out of date. And I think, oh, yeah, that can't go out of date. I'll take that home.
Oh, don't we all? I love that little trolley full of goodies. That's a little treasure chest too, isn't it? A little treasure hunt. I always fossick through there, yeah.
That's right. And you
purposely
can save
designed.
lots of money you going in there.
It's designed for you people who don't follow use-by dates.
I don't know if every supermarket's like this, but I live near one. It's called a Metro. I won't say which one of the big ones. And if you go there about 6 o'clock at night, a lot of their meat products, they reduce the price on them because they're going to go off the next day or two. Sometimes they're off that day. And I always snap up bargains there. That's where I buy my meat. My kids don't know that, and they're not listening now. They're at school or uni, so it's all good. But, yeah, no, and I take it home, either freeze it immediately or cook it immediately. And if I cook it immediately, it will last a few days in the fridge cooked.
Yeah, that's right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, our noses and our eyes can tell us whether it's actually gone off or not.
And our common sense. I mean, Burke and Wills, take it as an example.
Yes.
Burke and Wills had no use-by dates on their food. They got to the top end and halfway back. They almost made it.
Well, it's the almost part, isn't it, really?
If they'd had use-by dates, they probably wouldn't even have got to the top
they probably
end.
would have made it all the way.
No, they would have thrown all their food out in the way. I can't eat that. Throw it out. They wouldn't have hardly got anywhere. Wouldn't have got out of Melbourne.
Oh, dear. I would have stepped by the metro to get the cheap meat later in the afternoon. Oh, dear. Therese, thank you so much.
I love listening to you, and thank you for all the uplifting and encouraging words you give, as well as all the fun. Thank you.
Oh, praise God.
Thanks, Therese.
Thanks, Therese.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh, there we go. Well, Therese is weighing in as well. It sounds like the use-by dates aren't even needed on some pieces of food.
I've been quite surprised, Phil, how many people completely ignore those use-by dates. But the stats said, according to the ABC report we listened to earlier today, $2,500 worth of food items are thrown out of every Australian household every single year.
There you go. Well, we've got lots of texts coming in as well. Here's another one, smell test. If you have to sniff it more than once because you're not sure if it smells right, then it's fine, because if it was bad, you'd need to sniff it once.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But also, if in doubt, don't eat it. Food poisoning isn't fun. So there you go.
Food poisoning isn't fun.
I think that is probably what my approach is. Food poisoning isn't fun. Let's just be careful, people. But coming up next, we do have, if you'd like to weigh in, I think Facebook's the best place to go. Go to our Rise and Shine Facebook page. You can have your say there and join the conversation.
Love the Rise and Shine podcast? Tell a friend today.
But it is time for us to go. It's Rise and Shine, and we're going to be waving now and handing over to the rest of the Vision crew for the day.
Or waving from the balcony, Phil.
We are, because Neil is on long service.
We're filling in. As far as the waving goes, anyway.
Not the rest of it.
But Wendy Francis is actually filling in for Neil today. But what a great show today.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone that called us, who sent text messages, Facebook messages. It just made the show. Some really funny calls today. Even I had a good time, didn't I, Phil?
Good. Well, I'm hoping that you did. That's the goal. But yes.
I always have a good time.
But we would love you to be involved tomorrow. It is going to be our Prayer and Praise Wednesday. Once a month, we put aside some time to pray and praise together. So be thinking about that. But whatever you're doing today, we pray God's blessing upon it. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning with more Rise and Shine.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.